for Isaiah Crowell. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back, right at the line of scrimmage. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
So 2nd and 10 here. They'll run it again with Crowell. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Play fake, Mariota. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. The 8th-year man from Tennessee, this is Britton Colquitt on to punt. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. First carry now for the rookie, Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Bradford. And complete right side to Cook. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Now Bradford on second down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Cook getting the handoff for Bradford. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Halfback sent in motion. Second down, Bradford. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The number 1 overall pick, Myles Garrett. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
Ryan Quigley, 5th-year man from Boston College, in to punt it away. Duke Johnson deep for Cleveland. He'll field this at the 5. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They go play action. Mariota. Flush to his right. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. On second down, here's Crowell. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Off the play fake, Mariota. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And, a good hit there and knocked down hard. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. Here's Britton Colquitt now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Reminder, a couple of good games still to come. Later tonight, it's the Steelers on the road in Detroit taking on the Lions. Then Monday night, the costumes will be in full force in Kansas City, I'm sure, as on the day before Halloween, we'll see the Chiefs play host to their AFC West rivals, the Broncos.
And wasn't it just a couple years ago? Those two played at
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Christian Kirksey coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. On 2nd down, Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, with the last couple of plays for the offense not being good at all, my thought process as a coordinator, get the ball in the hands of my best player and see if I can salvage anything out of this drive.
Third and long for Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Play action now. Mariota in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. So after a scoreless first quarter, we at least finally get some points on the board.
But it can't be what either of us expected, can it?
No, the safety's not what you expect for the first points of the game, but one of the goose eggs is gone. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Again, this is Cook. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Bradford. He sets to fire deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And a big no-no last time. A safety to make this score 2-0 where we stand now. So see if they can atone for that mistake.
You give up points, but on the flip side, the positive side, after you punted the ball away and kicked it away,
defense held.
Defense held for you. So there's a little bit of relief there. Now they know they can get back out on the field, run their offense, and try not to put their defense in a bad spot again.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a 1st down.
Well, the pressure just couldn't get to him that time. They forced him out to his right, but he held his poise, surveyed the field, didn't find anything he liked, and then took off and picked up a nice gain.
A 1st down carry now for Crowell. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And he rifles one incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On third down. Mariota. Screenplay. Johnson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's fourth. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And this will be taken at the 13. Oh, twisting away. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The results for them so far. Not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They start the drive with Cook. And some room to roam now. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, last year, I'm not sure we saw very many of those runs, did we, from the Vikings? I mean, they had the poorest rushing attack in the league.
Just 75 yards per game, but carries like the one we just saw, that'll help bolster that average.
Yeah, certainly, and they tried to beef up the offensive line in the offseason, brought in Latavius Murray, and then drafted Dalvin Cook out of Florida State.
Bradford now to throw on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half. On 1st and 10, Bradford. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
A big hit. Knocked down sideways, right around the 31. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Here's Mariota. steps away to his left. Throwing deep here for Coleman. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we will send you back stateside to Orlando and say hello to Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Bradford. That's caught by Treadwell. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Now a run with Cook. And an alley to run. Finding room inside the 40. And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
This is Murray, and able to push his way forward here for a good little game. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Bradford. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And Forbath will put this one through, and that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script. To start a half, other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Second down, Mariota. Buying time to his, and he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Everson Griffin in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. The Browns on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. On play action, Mariota. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Here's Britton Colquitt now. as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, it's Cook. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Bradford. And he's able to find Diggs. And now running right through it. It gets by him, and now a little daylight. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Forbath out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Going deep for Benjamin. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Browns on 3rd down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Crowell. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air? Let's see. 2nd and 9. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Second down, 9 yards to go. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On 3rd down, Murray. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Dancing to his left. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Shift together here from the D-line. Mariota. Flushed out right. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Mariota now on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Following the interception, Bradford, the left side caught by Diggs. 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 78 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Forbath out to kick this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
Taken in at the 11. And an alley to run. And now out comes Minnesota. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Murray fighting, lost the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better. And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there. You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it. Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step, because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession. The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right? I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball. Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort. Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back. Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 19. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Here's Ryan Quigley now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
From the gun, Mariota. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to face a third down. Throwing, Mariota. Going underneath for Crowell. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And the kick here is good. So add 3 to the total, but they're still coming up well short. And that is how this one comes to an end. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend. So for Minnesota, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours.